everybody, my name is Sarah and I am Sideshow Celia because that is my name that I will be going by for this channel, and I have a new theory for you. So after watching the wishing star theory that the fangirl made with Shannon from Network 1901, something just clicked in my head. The little wheels in my brain were spinning and winding and wheeling, and I wrote down a couple things, and then I watched the video again, and I was like taking notes while I was doing that, because I had finally come up with a theory that was pretty much more like a connection with other theories, but I still think you should know all this. So that's why I made this video. So sit back and relax and enjoy Theory Connections. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the stars. First of all, I do believe that the biggest star is definitely the wishing star, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the gateway. I mean, it could be a gateway, but probably not the gateway to Neverland. I mean, think about it. There's another star next to it on both sides. The second star to the right, of course, takes you to Neverland, but there's also a second star to the left. At least that's what my theory is about, at least part of it. I mean, if you really just think about it, The Princess and the Frog takes place in the 1920s in New Orleans, and Peter Pan takes place in the 1910s in London, England. So not only is there space between time and space, but you gotta also think about the position we're in. You know, the 1920s in New Orleans, you'll be looking at the sky from one area, and you'll be looking at the sky in London, England in the 1910s from another part of the sky. I mean, who knows? Maybe there in London, England in the 1910s, they would be looking at the second star to the right, where in our position, New Orleans in the 1920s could be the second star to the left, or it could be the same star, but because they're in different places in the earth, it could still be the second star to the right. You're just looking at it differently, and because of that, there's still definitely a possibility that there's also a second star to the left, which means there's also a possibility that there is a parallel universe to Neverland. I mean, think about it. Parallel worlds, anyone? I mean, seriously, if you have never seen the Aladdin series, I suggest that you pause this video and go ahead and watch that, because what I'm about to say will make a whole lot more sense if you do. Because if you remember watching those two episodes where the Galifems came in, that island that they lived on looked a lot like Neverland, doesn't it? I mean, I know that those particular warrior women are supposed to be inspired by the Amazon women from Greek mythology, but if you actually take a really good look at the island, I mean, that's all just women. The pirates haven't come yet, the Indians haven't come yet, the fairies didn't even live there yet. I'm pretty sure that Pixie Hollow has been invented by the fairies, so that's probably not there yet either. And as you can see, I'm pretty sure that Mermaid Lagoon isn't Mermaid Lagoon yet. I mean, you never know, mermaids may be living there, but it wouldn't be called Mermaid Lagoon because no one has ever been to that part of the island. I mean, maybe, who knows? But the big point here is that the island of the Galifems and Neverland is the same place, according to this theory of mine. And if you can actually take your time to really think about it, I'm pretty sure that you'd come up with the same conclusion too. It may be in a different way than I see it, but you definitely see that there's something there. Now, that actually reminded me that there's a document that I made on my computer that explains some of it, because I am a huge fan of Once Upon a Time. I own seasons 1 through 6 on DVD, and I wrote this because I watched Once Upon a Time, and I think you'd really like it. I will actually have it attached to the description down below so that you can look at it. If you have Pages, that's great, because it's definitely been done on Pages. Also, I just thought I should let you know that The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Beginning, works in this one as well, because if you remember the ship that crushes Ariel's mother to death, I know that's a sad, touchy subject, but I had to bring it up because that particular ship actually happens to be a pirate ship, but it's not just any pirate ship. It is Captain Hook's pirate ship. But he's not Hook yet in that scene, because not only do you not see Hook, but I'm pretty sure that his hand is still there. The crocodile hasn't found him yet. Mostly because Peter Pan doesn't exist yet. Because as you well know, for those of you that are watching this that have seen that movie, you would know that Ariel's mother's name is Athena. And why is her name Athena? I mean, sure, she's married to Triton, but that's just the thing. She's married to Triton. Triton is, according to Greek mythology, one of Poseidon's sons. And that's where the whole thing with Hercules comes in, because that's how Hercules and Ariel are related, because they're cousins. But that's not the point. The point is that the ship that crushed Athena is Captain Hook's ship. But I'm not saying that as a fact. I'm saying that as a theory. So it's definitely a possibility that it may or may not be, but that's just my point of view. Now, if you were to really think about it on the Peter Pan side of it, if you remember what if you remember what the fangirl and Shannon were talking about, I do believe that the music box that Tinkerbell brings back actually does belong to both of them. It belonged to Wendy's mother first, but she gave it to Wendy on her birthday or something, because I actually remember when I watched that movie for the very first time and I saw the house that Tinkerbell fly to, I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, that's Wendy's house. And when I saw the little girl at the window, or I think she was in bed, I'm not completely sure. No, she was definitely in bed or like somewhere in her room. But I remember that after Tinkerbell flew out, a little girl came to the window and she picked up the box. I could definitely tell it was Wendy right away, mostly because of the hair color and the face shape and the color of her eyes. I could tell it was Wendy. So Wendy finally got her music box back, and I'm pretty sure that she was so excited that she couldn't wait until the next morning to tell her mother about it, and so she told her mother about it that night. But another thing is that, how is it that Ray is the second star to the right? Well, I know how. You see, I believe that Evangeline, as a star, grew old and came down to Earth to become a person so that she could grow younger, so that she could come back up and start her life as a star again. And that's exactly what happened to Ray as well. He was originally the second star to the left, and so when he grew old as a star, he came back down, but instead of becoming a person like Evangeline did, he became a firefly. I guess that's just how things worked with him. Anyways, he wasn't supposed to die by being crushed by Dr. Vasilia's foot. And because of that, he became the second star to the right instead, because not only was it not his time to die, but he was murdered. And I believe that because of that, that's why he became the second star to the right. But that happened after Evangeline went back up to become a star again, because she was finally young enough to become a star again and live out the rest of her life as a star. Because when I was watching that theory that the fangirl and Shannon were doing, I remember they said that the wishing star is the gateway, but it is a gateway that goes to other worlds, not just one, not just Neverland, but to other worlds as well. So the second star to the right is a window, and the second star to the left is a window, and each one goes to different worlds. The second star to the right obviously goes to Neverland, and the second star to the left could go to a parallel version of Neverland. That's also a possibility as well. But if you really think hard, there's more to this theory, and that's why I made it a two-parter. So you're going to just have to wait for part 2 to come out next week. And I am dead serious about making part 2 next week, because I have a lot more where this comes from. And now part 1 is over. So if you have any questions, any comments, any ideas for any theories that you want me to do, please do so in the comment section below. I just love saying that. Thank you, Super Common Brothers. Anyways, please do so. I would love to get more ideas. Anything from you guys would definitely help me make new videos and get more subscribers, because I definitely need that. So also, I am going to be having my social media linked in the description box below in case you want to contact me. And thank you so much. This is Sideshow Celia signing out for the week. You will definitely see me again next week with part 2. And until then, au revoir, aloha, auf Wiedersehen, and goodbye.